Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas, who on this Memorial Day weekend we recognize his military service and leadership. I also want to tell people, Senator, thank you for being here, that you were the platoon leader for military honor funerals at Arlington National Cemetery. We've talked about it before, but I would imagine that those services had some part of spirituality in them, and I can imagine that you would see them as essential.
Absolutely, Harris. As I write about in my book, Sacred Duty, about the Old Guard of Arlington National Cemetery, the chaplains played a critical role, whether they are Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, Muslim. The chaplains were the critical link between the family on the one hand and Arlington and the Old Guard on the other hand.
And, you know, as we have this discussion, Senator, across the country, that faith leadership is in the crosshairs between keeping all of us safe amid the COVID-19 pandemic and people feeling the need to flower their hearts in person, you know, and have the word spread all over them, whether they are Christian, they are of Jewish faith, they are Muslim. No matter what faith you are, in person is not an option in every state.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the case, Harris. I'm glad to see the president is going to lay out some new federal guidelines, because it is the constitutional right of every American to worship his or her God in a manner that they choose. And the federal government has a responsibility to protect those rights. I'm very confident that every house of worship can help protect their members. I've spoken with pastors who are willing to go from 1 to 3 services a day, or 3 services to 5 services a day, if that means spreading out their parishioners in their pews to make sure everyone can keep their distance apart, you know, making sure that people are practicing good hygiene. But there's no reason that churches or synagogues or mosques should remain closed in our states if we're opening liquor stores and marijuana dispensaries. It's time to let people go back to worship with their congregations.
Look, you bring up a great point. How did weed get ahead of faith?
Exactly. And you know, look, there have been a lot of stores that have been open throughout the peak of this crisis. You know, a lot of folks shop for groceries at Walmart, and I commend all of the workers in Walmart, whether it's their store clerks that are keeping the shelf stocked, or all their distributors and those at the warehouse, to make sure that we can keep food on the table for our families. But those stores can get pretty crowded. If Walmart can remain open and safely have people keep their distance while continue to shop for essential items, I'm confident that every church can do the same thing. And I'd actually say there's probably no more essential activity than worshiping God during the time of this crisis.
Real quickly, because I know you've got to scoot, some of the pushback has been that you have a lot of elderly parishioners. How do you keep them safe? Your last word.
Yeah, I think we should all take care. And those who are at risk should take extreme care. So some people might want to go to a elderly-only service, or maybe set off a few set of pews for the elderly. But I'm confident the American people are going to take personal responsibility for their health, keeping their distance, wearing a mask where they can't, washing their hands, and not touching their face. That's true not just in stores or in the workplace, but it's true in churches as well. It's time for people to be able to get back into their churches this weekend.
Senator Tom Cotton from the great state of Arkansas, thank you for joining me in the breaking news here last minute on the president.